Hi and welcome. So today I want to share with you how you can resolve your emotional eating by understanding how you learn new ways of being. So this is going to help you succeed at your goals for the new year. In the new year, we tend to try something, and by I think it's mid-January or just a few weeks in, most people give up and they fail at their New Year's resolutions. And personally, I'm not a fan of resolutions. I feel like if you want to succeed at something, you want to do something, you can start today. You don't have to wait till January 1st. But I want to really share with you some interesting insight that I've intuitively known, but I found some more information on how we can really move through our patterns and what to look out for, because change does take time. And in order to create sustainable change, we have to stick to something for a period of time so it becomes automatic. And we have to move through resistance and sabotage and keep going even when we feel like we're doubting ourselves, we feel like we're going to fail. And so this happens a lot with us as emotional eaters. And I know for me, I was in this constant diet cycle for many years as I was going through my emotional eating journey. I didn't understand how my brain worked. I didn't understand how patterns worked. And I had to keep restarting over and over again. And if I had this information, I feel like I would have been able to succeed much quicker. But alas, all my trial and error, it goes to my clients succeeding much faster than me. So I want to share with you today how you can really resolve your emotional eating and succeed this new year, partly by understanding how this pattern works and what you need in order to move forward. So I'm going to just share with you, this is some new insight that I read from a neuroscientist on how the brain actually starts changing and how we feel when we implement a new habit. And of course, I'm going to have this caveat of we have the tools in place to help us with our resistance as well. And so a little bit about how the brain sort of works as we're creating change. That first day we feel super excited and we're ready to roll. By maybe a few days in, we are sort of seeing there might be a little bit of resistance coming up. And I see this with clients when I work with them. That first week can be resistance of new things having to change. Even if it's something really small, it's that resistance comes up. And, if we move through it, we feel more autonomous. We feel like, yes, I'm on the right path. And then by day 7, we feel like we've got it a little bit under control and we're moving forward. And then into day 14, we feel like, yes, we've got it. And if we're not careful, this is where we can start slipping up. We think we have it under control. We stop doing the actions needed to start creating this new way of being. So at this sort of after a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, when we feel like we've got it, we have to be careful to keep implementing and moving forward, because we might think, yes, I've created this new habit. But the way the brain works, we need a lot more time. And so if we get to week 3, around 21 days, we might feel, yes, I totally get it. I understand. But we still need to keep moving forward in order to make this an automatic habit, to make this our new way of being, to make it more sustainable. If at about 3 weeks we decide, yeah, I've got it, this is where we can start sabotaging ourselves, because life will have triggers. There will be situations that come up that are going to challenge us if we're going to go to our old way, or are we going to move forward in our new way? And this is when we can start doubting what we're doing. We can have a lot of fears and we are not creating that momentum. And so this is where it's important to really understand, if you're understanding your pattern, that as you're moving forward, if you have lots of support and guidance to see what's going on, because sometimes when we get into that doubt and fear, and I know this happens for me personally, if I don't have someone there to guide me through, I feel like I failed, that I don't know what I'm doing. It's not working anymore. And the thing is, we're just getting challenged. We're getting challenged from the outside. Our triggers are coming up. They're more in our face so that we can move forward and that we can start moving forward in the way that we want to. And of course, as emotional eaters, that means we're looking at our triggers. We're knowing when we're emotionally eating. We're really resolving it. We're putting in the key steps that are needed to help us move forward. And so this is going to be really important to have that guidance and a plan that you're following step by step. Each week you have action tasks to move you forward, and that you are able to move through the resistance and the sabotage and, that internal battle as you move forward. And if from around, day 20 to day 60, which is when the brain, around day 63 is when the brain solidifies this habit, we're looking at one habit. If we can get through those 40 days with consistent looking at our triggers and keep ingraining this new way of being, of being with our emotional eating and how we resolve it. And so in my program, the Emotional Eating Evolution Program, it is a process over 12 weeks. And so we're constantly reinforcing and going back and looking at where are we being, there's resistance or sabotage coming up. What are our patterns? And there's deeper tools to help us move through that, so that we're moving through this period and gaining that mastery, so that by the time we hit day 60, there's still more things to add in, but the program's longer than that in order to help you move through that. But if you make it to day 60 with this consistent habit, you sort of created this new automatic habit for yourself of moving through your emotional eating. So it's a bit of a challenge, but it is, as you're learning the tools, you're going to move through this. And then if it comes up again, depending on how deep your emotional eating is, it might be another set of that. But what I've found with clients when we move through this, because in my program, we're doing this step by step, we're moving through different phases and implementing things in a more easeful way, that they become more automatic and they just layer on each other. And, we're using deeper somatic meditations to really get at triggers and to really process and resolve out any emotions under our emotional eating, so we can move forward with more ease. And so if we're able to get through this period, and kind of keep in mind, because nothing is perfect, this is what the science says, it's about 60 days. It might be a bit more for you, but it's amazing to see how we all go through these cycles where we feel, yes, this is an exciting thing, then it feels challenging and there's resistance in the first week. I see this with clients, and then we feel we sort of got it, and then we think, we let go of the wheel, and then we think, yes, I've really got it, but then we get challenged more and more. And this is where we need that guidance and support and that coaching after around the first, you need it in the first week, because you have resistance coming up, and probably week 3. And I see this with my clients. They go through these waves of they're having resistance or getting it. They sort of integrate, and then they're having a bit more resistance, and then it kind of clicks at the end. It always happens in that magic moment. So it's really amazing that our bodies, our biology are working with the change we're creating, but we need to have that focus, and we need to have that sort of clear path forward in order to feel better prepared to move through this change. So this is amazing. I wish I knew this a long time ago. It's helping me with other changes I want to implement, because when we're in that sort of spiral of doubt or fear, or we've had a trigger and we've gone into that place, we need to pull ourselves out of it. And the sooner we can pull ourselves out of it and process it, the more we can move forward in the direction that we want to, where we feel good in our body and around food. So this is, amazing to be aware of. And this is why the Emotional Eating Evolution Program is structured with 12 weeks of support. And of course, if you need ongoing support and guidance, there is that too. But it is a process where we are creating this new way of being and moving through the resistance and the sabotage and whatever else comes up that has derailed us in the past. So if what I'm saying is helping you and it's giving you more insight into how you might move through change, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you're looking for more support and guidance through this process, I'd love to invite you to book in an emotional eating assessment call. So on this call, it's all about you, where you're at and what your goals are, and how the Emotional Eating Evolution Program can bridge that gap. So I'd love to invite you to book in that call. And of course, if you have any questions, please leave them below, and please be sure to like and subscribe. And I look forward to sharing more with you, and I hope you have a great day.